Hey there YouTube, this is Chaos Sorcerer 87 again, bringing you an update on my Ojainsanity deck. And I recently been testing it, and it's been changed quite a bit. And like I took out something that I honestly couldn't conceive myself taking out before. But I've been trying it, and it's actually been surprisingly effective without it. So I don't think I really needed it, at least not mained. But I'll get back to the deck. First, we have 3 Ojama Blues, which is one of your important Ojamas. As like the Ojamas, it's 0 attack, 1000 defense, level 2. When it's during a battle, you search for 2 Ojama cards, and that's monsters or spells. Or traps if you want to get trio, but I don't see the point. But yeah, it's basically your main search of the deck, and it'll fetch you your combo cards so you can start doing stuff. And then we have 2 of each. 2 Ojama Yellow, 2 Ojama Black, 2 Ojama Green. And useless on their own, but they feed your cards, and they start throwing onto the field for exeasing out, which is the main part of what I have changed this Ojama deck to be. And if anyone has another dual terminal Ojama Yellow, please let me know. Head to my trade list, because I really want to find one. Nobody seems to have them. Or foreign other Ojamas. I want those too. And then the last Ojama I use 2 copies of Ojama Red. Basically, red is one of the main ways of getting your Ojamas out of your hand, onto your field, and under rank 2s. Basically, it's like I discard Ojamagic somehow, which is I'll get to, add the entire set of Ojamas to my hand, and then drop them all in the field with red, and then exease out with them. And basically, it's one of your targets that you're going to search with Ojama Blue. Alright, and then new to the deck, 3 tour guides, since I have obtained them. Part of the thing is that this deck, I've kind of nearly focused this deck entirely on exeasing now. And there are a few kind of boss monsters in the deck, but most of my plays will involve kind of like swarming a bunch of exease at you. But the other part is that tour guide will search Sangan, and I can leave Sangan on the field to get me blue, to get me my combo cards. So it's been really helpful in that way. It's like, oh, if I already have blue and I already have my combo cards, then it's a Leviathan or a Brilliant or something like that. Or when the promo version of it comes out, a Zen mains, which is always nice. Then, of course, 1 Sangan to search blue to be the tour guide target, you know. Then I also have a Summoner Monk engine that goes alongside Snipe Hunters. And really, like, it works really well right now, but really it's going to be the most effective when we finally get Daigusto Emerald out, because I'm going to be able to, if I have Ojamagic and a Summoner Monk, I can go Summoner Monk into Snipe Hunter, discarding Ojamagic, I search, and then Snipe Hunter can ditch all of them to the grave, and then I exease out for Emerald, and then search them all, put that back in the deck. But right now, I can get any rank 4. One of my favorites right now is Maestroke. I love to abuse Maestroke so much. Well, I didn't think I'd use it as much as I have been, but it's just like, oh, I just want a monster that lives. Go Maestroke. But that's how it's going to be. That's how it is right now. 2 Chaos Sorcerer. Now I used to have light ray data lists, and at first they seemed kind of good, but I keep dead drawing them because my Ojamas are stuck in my hand or are stuck on the field, and it's just like, oh well, this is dead in my hand. But in this version, I have so many darks with the tour guides and the snipe hunters, and then the other cards I'm about to show you. And then like I can remove a blue because I don't need to revive it from the grave anymore. I'll get to that. But like I tried one, it's been working really well, so I'm trying a second one. I'd love a Black Luster Soldier, but I don't have one at the moment. One of those would definitely go out for a Black Luster Soldier if I can get one. 2 Tragoedias of the Dark. My fields are usually empty. My hands are usually huge, so Tragoedia can get stupid huge. I've got it to breach 7,000 attack before, just by like I have a full hand and then I discarded Ojamagic and now my hand's bigger, so it can get stupid huge in this deck. And then 1 Gorse. All right, and that's it for the the monsters. Onto the spells. We have 3 Ojamagic. I used to run 2, but I've run 3 in this build just because I've added a lot of like discard cards. And if I can draw Ojamagic before I can draw my the quicker I can draw my Ojamagics or search for my Ojamagics and add it to my hand, the less chance I have of drawing the normals because I bring them all out of the deck, so I can draw into my power cards. So I went up to 3 on that, and so far it's working. 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, 2 Tri-Wight. I used to run 3, but I've gone down to 2 just because like a lot of times, especially early game, they will be dead, but they're still good at 2, I think. Although, if Ojama Dala ever comes out, I probably replace one with that, just because it's searchable. 1 Pot of Avarice. I mill so many monsters in the grave, and it makes Ojamagic live again. 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Dark Hole, you know, usual stuff. And that's it for the spells, and you'll notice that there is one very important Ojama spell that's missing, and that's Ojama Country. I moved a couple copies to the side and moved it out of the main deck because I don't need it as much. I can make Xyz, I can make defensible Gachis with offensive either Dark Mists or Shining Elves, all the same, just with red and Tri-Wight alone. And honestly, it's been working fine. I kept dead drawing Country before, and now without it, I've been able to. I can discard Ojamagic to start getting discard fodder. If I draw into a couple of normals and then I draw into red, I can at least make plays and get them out of my hand. So those 2 have been fine alone. But Ojama Country, it's like, oh, I don't have any Ojamas of grave. I guess this is pointless. I can summon 1 Ojama and run over something if the setup is right. So I've been taking it out, and I've been enjoying without it. It's been interesting. But onto the traps, I run 3 Raigeki Break. It's one of the things I've put in. I wanted to put in traps in this because the old build, like, if everything goes off and it works, then I make a good field and it's hard for you to get over. But if it doesn't, I need something defensible, as well as it also is one of the things that activates Ojamagic for me. And then 2 Torrential. It's easy, especially with like things like Maestroke and Gachis, it's easy to just go Torrential and benefit without losing your monster. So, and those are the traps, just those 5 for now. I'd like more, but there's just no room in the deck. Now onto the extra deck. I have 3 Gachi Gantetsu, although I honestly say I could probably reduce to 2. I maybe like now in the Countryless build, their high defense is way less important, at least in terms of in the Country build I summon it and it's a beater, and this one it's just the defender that it usually is, but it's still very good. I mean, I don't think I'll reduce to 1. 2 Shining Elf, which is kind of my main rank 2 beater. Like I kept making. I would go Shining Elf as 1, and then Gachi would be my other Xyz when I drop a red. So, like, I just have a 2,000 monster alongside Gachi, which seems a lot like the Venus play in Agents, but having a Shining Elf is much nicer than a Venus. I have 2 number 96 Dark Mist, both ultimate now, which is nice. I like that. But Dark Mist is just, it basically can run over anything 3 times. outside of maybe some damage step shenanigans. But against things like Chaos Dragons, you bring this out, and if you can keep protect it from their few cards that can destroy it, they basically can't do anything about it. They can run their monsters into it, make it huge, and then now they can't do anything. And then one Giga-Brillant, one Leviathan Dragon, and one Leviair for now for my rank 3s for Tour Guide. A Giga-Brillant is a light, and then I make a bunch of monsters, so it's actually really good in here. I used to not run Leviathan. I mean, I wasn't considering Leviathan if I made with Ojama Country, because it has 0 defense. But without Country, it's really not as dangerous to summon this thing. And then Leviair is it's just kind of for now. I don't really ever remove things except for just my Chaos Sorcerer, so it's rare that it's going to come out. But my opponent could banish stuff, but right now it's kind of a space filler. And then for my rank 4s, I have one Maestroke, the Symphony Dijnn, my favorite. I have one Utopia, and then one Pearl. Now, really, I haven't summoned Utopia in this build very much since I got Maestroke, just because, like, a lot of times I will get a Summoner Monk on first turn, and then I'm just like, Summoner Monk, discard Ojamagic to start milling, to start getting all the Ojamas in my hand, go Snipe Hunter, and then just make a defense position Maestroke, which is a very good opening play, because it's a 2300 defense monster that you can't beat over very quickly. So, depending on the deck, of course. Alright, and then onto the side deck, I have 2 DD Crow, 2 Effect Veiler. I might have to main it in this deck, but I don't like Effect Veiler mained in a deck where I cannot, where it's like if I Veiler a monster, if it's a reusable monster, something that I'm going to have to worry about next turn, like something like Rabbit or something like Insectors, then it's just like if I main this, I worry about like if I can't run over the monster next turn, then it was pointless. I mean, I will side it in against Insectors just because Insectors blow up blue in a way that I don't need, and I don't want them to kill blue, so it's important. But things like Rabbit, I don't think I'll side these in against them. I just rather keep them in the side. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the meta goes and how this deck goes. I have 2 Snowman Eaters, which I will side in against Rabbit and anything that has dangerous cards in. 1 MST because I only main 2. I mean, I main the 3 Raigeki Breaks. That's why I kind of went to 2 MST in the main. But I'm sure there are sometimes I'm going to need it. I do side to Ojama Country. And that's mainly because when the attack-defense switch of Ojama Country can be very devastating against certain decks. It really depends on I have to kind of pay attention to the defenses of the deck I'm facing, and depending on whether they're high or low, or if I feel like I can benefit from having a country in the deck, or if I'm facing a deck that relies on field spells like Gravekeepers, it'll just be a searchable way to remove Necro Valley. 2 Leeching the Light for light decks. 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror against Insectors. And then 2 Royal Decree against Heavy Trap decks. But that is my current Ojama deck. Like, I ran it today at a little small locals, going 2-1, beating Samurai, then Insectors, and then losing to Dragoonity Hybrid. Well, it's like mostly Dragoonities, but it had Light Pulsars, and it used the Heretic rank 6 that allowed you to just summon a 0/0 dragon. But it kept making Light Pulsars in the field or like Stardust, and I just couldn't run over anything. It was hard to. I went 2-1 against it, but like the first game was like he made like first and third games he basically just made a field that I just could not kill, and it would just like loop through his cards, and I would try to stop him, but he seemed to have a 7 tool every time I tried to Raigeki Break. But that was that. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have 4 Ojamas. I really want them. German is like a one I would really want, but even the Spanish would look cool too. Just really, if you find 4 Ojamas or dual terminal yellow, because that's the only one that's dual terminal, let me know. This is Chaos Sorcerer 87, out.